Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture series of Technical Communication. Today we are going to start with lecture 4 of Unit 1, which is about dimensions of communication. In the previous video, we did flows and barriers to communication, and I hope that is clear to you all. Now, this particular video deals with dimensions of communication, and in this dimension, the first dimension and the only dimension for this semester is reading and comprehension. The next thing which I am going to cover here is technical writing, and technical writing, in this video I will be dealing with sentences. In the next video I'll be dealing with paragraphs. So let's get started. First of all, reading comprehension. What is reading, students? Reading comprehension or understanding through reading is one of the most important skills of communication. So is with the case of all the skills that is there for communication skills. As understanding through listening, this is reading, and now I'm talking about listening. Listening comprehension is necessary in order to decode the message. Whether I am telling you or I am explaining reading comprehension, you are understanding it, and that understanding level is decoding the message conveyed through speech. So is understanding through reading, which is decoded by written message. If I send you, or let's take an example, this presentation is the reading material and you are decoding it. So all, and who are all? A student, a professional, technocrat, businessman have to read various types of text and written messages and respond to the message by sending mails, letters or fax messages, or proceed to discussion. So all of you are, be it any domain, you all are involved by in reading, whether it is sending mails, reading mails, letters, fax messages, in fact the messages that you send through chats. So everything includes reading. So finally, let's come to the definition. Thus, reading comprehension is a test of readers' ability to read and understand unfamiliar material and to respond appropriately to the things discussed in a text. Reading needs knowledge, application, and judgment. So you all face reading comprehension. You study an unseen passage is being given to you and then you solve it. What does that mean? That is, you are understanding the text through reading and hence applying knowledge, applying skills and judgment to it. What is the importance of reading skill? So let's get to the importance one by one. Reading is necessary to decode a message, right? It connects the reader to the writer. So whatever I am writing and I want to convey is being conveyed through that written material, written document that my audience will be reading. Since official records and all working in offices is conducted through writing, so efficient reading has become the need of the hour. Everything is written. Now the written material has to be read by somebody, some audience, right? So writing material always require an audience that could understand that text, right, or the content. It builds up good rapport between the receiver and the sender. Efficient reading results in enriching the knowledge. Now it reacts to your sensory images, right? So these all are the importance of reading skills. Now, types of reading skills. I have classified into two: reading extensively, that is for general understanding of the subject. That is, you're reading any novel or any fiction. So that is just for general understanding of the subject. But if that particular novel is suppose in your syllabus, then you do an in-depth, you take in-depth knowledge of that text, right? Or suppose you are you're studying any subject, and for that you are referring to any articles, technical writings, technical papers, journals. So you want to get the information out of it. So there an intensive reading is required. There you read intensively. Now I will be talking about reading speeds. Study reading is used for reading materials which deal with difficult arguments, ideas and notions, a little difficult content. So study reading is required there. Average reading, where average reading is required when you are reading a newspaper or a magazine or a novel. And skimming is दूध के ऊपर मलाई आती है, and that has been removed, that is called skim milk. So skimming is basically fastest reading, and you fastly just touch the outline of what is being said by the author or writer in that particular document. Now I'll be talking about methods, or you can say techniques of reading speedily. That is first scanning method, which is already being covered by you. This method is used when the reader read a passage quickly yet carefully. Quickly does not mean that you won't be careful about it or you will get a wrong message. No, a careful study should be there, but it is quick to get a general idea of the theme. Usually a novel, short story, an article or general topics in a newspaper or comprehension exercises are read in this way. So this is one of the example. Here 2 columns A and B are there, and you have to quickly go through column B and then match it up with A. That will come under scanning method. So first I will read farmer. Energized pump sets are a common feature of agriculture operation today. It is related to agricultural, so you will give a glimpse to the sentence and then you will be able to match up the correct answer. Then if it is talking about petrol has become so expensive that many people prefer to use cheap forms of transport, it means farmer, no. Taxi driver, yeah, might be for a taxi or a car or a transport we are talking about, so this will definitely match this one. Housewife, liquefied because she has to work on the gas, she'll be involved in cooking, so this news might be relevant for a housewife, and so is this one for factory manager. So I hope it is clear. Next method is skimming method, where it means to read a text superficially. Superficially means ऊपर से, or look over curiously and gather salient facts contained in it. ऊपर से उसको read करना और उसके main point, उसके gist को grab करना. As the memory cannot retain everything while reading a passage, this method is a good corrective of the reader's common tendency to vague and disorderly thinking. It enables the reader to comprehend a passage with brevity, ABC of technical writing, and to grasp the smaller in a logical order. One of the example is, this method is used for deciding if a book in the library or bookshop is right for you. So when you go to the bookshop or you go in the library, you are reading a book, you just go through it, superficially you go through it, whether it will be useful for me to study or not, isn't it? And when you are reading, that comes under scanning method. So you're quickly just turning on the pages just to see that whether this content is useful for me or not. Now there are certain points which are there for how can you improve reading comprehension skills. So for that, number 1, you should read a variety of material. Then only your reading speed, your reading ability and comprehension will improve. You should read a fairly long portion of material. You should not stick to a limited portion, right? Then the third one is the reader should mark unknown or unfamiliar. So when you are doing comprehension, reading comprehension, you try to mark the unknown or unfamiliar things, and later on you either go for the dictionary or you keep it aside. After reading the whole text, you understand some of the meaning of the unfamiliar text. After reading, the reader should recall as much. So remembering is very important. After that, the reader should check the accuracy and completeness of recollections. जो भी याद किया है, is it complete, is it accurate? So you have to check that, then only will be appropriate, right? So the reader should consider how interesting the subject matter is and how much he/she already knows about it. So these are the things that should be considered while reading anything. Next point is the reader should follow scientific procedure. कि जो scientific procedure होता है to read. So how do you read and what part you should read, what part you should mark. So he should try to look for the topic sentence. Topic sentence we have already done. topic sentences to find a theme sentence. So first of all, you find the theme sentence that will enable him to understand the entire written material. If you do not understand the topic sentence or you misinterpret the topic sentence, your understanding of that particular passage is totally reversed. Now, next is the reader should make sincere efforts in understanding the important parts. So you mark the important parts. It will help him to interpret the message and grasp the meaning of the text clearly and easily. So by improving all these, reader can show his professional performance. Now, next topic of the day is sentences. What is a sentence? We all know. It is a group of words that give a complete meaning. So, a group of words when placed together in a logical or a meaningful way becomes sentence. Now, sentence has two parts. One, subject, and the other is predicate. So this is the basic unit where noun or pronoun. She is so beautiful. So she is a pronoun and that becomes a subject. And the rest of the part will be called as predicate, where all other parts of speech will be included. Types of sentences: descriptive, it could be narrative, it could be expository, it could be argumentative. Now, what are some of the requisites of a good sentence construction that is required so that your sentence is appropriate, is not faulty, is not awkward, not ambiguous, and is easy to understand and is quite logical and meaningful? So first of all, avoid awkward sentence structure. So what do? You try to avoid wrong word order, confusing phrases, or dangling modifiers. Avoid abstract sentences that have no relevance or that leads to confusion. So example is, a man is standing in black suit, and this is incorrect sentence. If you could have written it, a man in black suit is standing, it could be much better. So this is how wrong word order changes the meaning of the sentence. Second is choice of appropriate words. Words should be selected in accordance with the theme in question. A dog barks. Why don't you say a dog meows or a dog roars? No. So whenever you are using anything, the context should be appropriate. The choice of words should be appropriate. I am drinking water because I am hungry. No, you will say I am thirsty. So right choice of word is required when you are trying to frame a sentence. Next one is avoid sentence fragments. Fragments, if it is fragmented, टूटा हुआ है, then it will lead to confusion. Next one is emphasis on short sentences. You try to make short sentences rather than making long, complex sentences that again can lead to confusion. Although they might be correct, they might be grammatically well structured, but they might make confusions. Suppose if you are writing a manual and you are writing some instructions, if you will not keep short sentences and long sentences, it might confuse the audience or the reader who is reading that instructions. So here you avoid lengthy sentences. Length of a sentence should be adjusted according to readers, because it's not there that always you will be using short sentences. An average moderate sentence is also used depending on the audience, जो कि हमने फीचर्स में किया था. आप अपने ऑडियंस को डिसाइड करके अपना टेक्स्ट लिखते हो या बोलते हो. So you have to adjust the sentence length according to the demand of style, as per your audience, whatever is required. Next one is economizing on words. So avoid roundabout ways of saying things. You should be straight, you should be very objective, you should come straight to the point. Your writing, your text, your content should be straightforward. You should not unnecessarily repeat the words or ideas. Once said should be made understand, but not should be repeated. Redundant phrases should be avoided. Cliches should be avoided. So all these you have to take care while you are framing a sentence. Next one is sentence emphasis. Now a correct emphasis should be there in a sentence. Sentence should be constructed with right emphasis on content. How? Water pollution is one of the gravest problem of the modern world. So here the theme of the sentence, main point of the sentence is we are talking about water pollution. If it is water pollution, then it is the gravest problem of the modern world. Last but not the least, consistency. There should be a consistent piece of writing. All sentences should follow same pattern. To pick one style and stick to it throughout the document is the need of the hour. So you always face this problem. You start with one of the tense and then changes to another tense. No, a consistency should be there. A proper sentence structure should be there. Whatever is used in the first place should be used till the last place. So I hope these two topics of the day are clear to you. Number one is dimensions of reading. Dimensions of communication, and there we did reading skills, that is reading comprehension. And another topic for the day was technical writing, in which we covered sentences today. In the next video, we'll be covering paragraphs, and I hope this is clear to you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.